All right, it's time. I don't know how many of these classes you guys have been to, but for the last 5 or 6 years, lots of times chefs are great cooks, but don't talk. Lots of times guys talk, but they're not great chefs. Tonight we got guys that are great chefs and like to talk. So I'm going to let which chef, Jim, if you could present your dish first, or the explanation of your dish.
Well, in the spirit of the throwdown, Chef Jack and I have done it yet again. We've prepared very, very similar entrees for you with no communication between the two of us. We just operate on the same wavelength. So I borrowed my inspiration from a little sausage called the cevape. Who's ever heard of a cevape? Anyone? It is a small sausage served in Bosnia, Serbia, around the Mediterranean area. And it is made with lamb, pork, and beef. And there's a large Bosnian population down in the old Bevo Mill area of St. Louis, and that's where I ventured one weekend and I tried these things and they were like, wow. And I could tell that that was lamb, beef, and pork. So I prepared for you my rendition of that. It is really fundamentally the same as the Euro meat log. It's got equal portions of lamb, ground beef, and ground pork. So if you're going to have 4 people over, 1/3 of a pound of each would do very, very nicely. I seasoned that lamb with those 3 pounds. I start with 3 pounds of meat of each, and I seasoned it with a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of coriander, and a tablespoon of minced garlic, and then a little bit of oregano. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit, like a half a teaspoon. Folded that into burger patties and then preformed them. And those are going to go onto the grill. So you're going to get 3 meats in 1 burger. And I'm going to be serving that on a pita bread with a Greek tomato salad. So I've cubed up some tomatoes, some cucumbers, some red onions, some feta cheese that's been dressed in a light Greek vinaigrette. And then that's going to be put over the top of that burger on the pita bread. And that's what I'm serving tonight.
When you mix those 3 meats, pork, beef, and lamb, you're making a new flavor. So that's what's really, a lot of people don't like lamb, a lot of people don't like pork, or strong pork, not in this crowd. But and that's what really is unique about that. I had the fortune to have a fresh killed lamb, and I had some for our weekend. We did a morel stuffed leg of lamb yesterday, I did. And I took the other leg, and my 8-year-old daughter, she watched me and took pictures while I butchered it, and which is awesome, to have your 8-year-old daughter watch you butcher it out. It's awesome. And my wife was all grossed out, and Juliet's like, yeah, cut it out. So, but
taking pictures.
But from my whole career, we made sausages. I worked at a 5-star German hotel in Vail, and I've always made sausages. And my technique, I make them in salsiccia, chorizo, andouille. But what you do is you take that leg or pork shoulder, and I like to cut it in strips that's going to be ground in. And then we marinate it. I marinate it for 2 days before I grind it. So I butchered them Saturday night, and that's why I did that with this meat. And then I just ground it this afternoon. And I season it with fresh basil, dry basil, dry Italian seasoning, granulated garlic, and I'll tell you that in a second why I use that, granulated onion, vinegar. Vinegar is in sausages. Sweet, sour. You need sour, okay? And we ground it all up, mixed it all up, and then whenever you grind your own meat or mix a patty or get ready to make a meatloaf, always make a little patty, like 2-ounce patty, for you to eat, but actually to taste it. Make sure it's got enough salt content. And that's something, if you're making a sausage or making a meatloaf and you mixed it all up, make a little patty. Make sure it tastes good. Make sure it's got spice, make sure it's got enough salt content, very important. And then I made somewhat traditional tzatziki sauce. So it's a Mediterranean lamb burger, okay, and on a Hawaiian roll, and it's going to have feta and sour cream and some herbs and sun-dried tomato, middle pieces in there. And back to why I use granulated garlic and granulated onion, it's because it is a true flavor. It's always the same flavor. If I smash garlic, it's spicy. If I slice garlic, it's sweet. If I roast garlic, it's sweet. And if I get garlic in June, it's this flavor. So I love fresh garlic, but I use, like when I make my salsiccia Italian sausage, I use fresh garlic and granulated. I want to make sure I got the right flavor, okay? So there's
It's real
nothing...
hard to produce a consistency using fresh produce.
Not-
peppers and
yeah.
garlics and onions in particular, right?
Not powder.
Not with powder.
Not powder.
Not if you're using powder, but if
Yeah.
you're using fresh, it's
Yeah.
very difficult.
No, I mean from granulate. Granulate is little small bits, and it's got just an awesome flavor. So consistent. That's what
Yeah.
judges look for in competitions, and/or I look as a chef or restaurant. I need consistent flavors. Okay, nothing wrong with fresh sautéed pasta, mascacholi, you know, with garlic, fresh garlic, but that's not the same when you're making something that's stable, sausages and whatnot.
Got it.
We're gonna cook our minis, and it's gonna take about 8-10 minutes. Dan's gonna take over.
Tee up the next
And,
line.
Yeah.
Before he does that, I got one last thing to add, and that's while you're tasting that patty that you set aside and made, make sure you keep in mind the entire meal. I'm garnishing with a tomato salad that's got a lot of feta in it, and that feta is really salty, right?
Briny, briny.
Yeah, it's briny, and it's got that bite to it.
So don't have too much salt.
I did not have too
Yeah.
much salt in my meat. In fact, I put 0 because I knew the feta was going to add what I needed there.
And
keep the whole
at
meal
Jim's
in mind.
restaurant, you get what he's going to serve you. So if he's going to serve you a tomato briny feta cheese salad, you're not going to be able to put it on the side. Okay, just kidding.
On the second category of the burgers, one being a
Greek pita tomato salad burger.
Greek pita, whatever.
Yeah, you know what you mean.
Greek pita salad burger.
Organic lamb Mediterranean burger with tzatziki sauce.
All right, let's take the vote first. Let's take the vote first. These descriptions are too long. The first vote.
One on a bun, one on a pita.
One on bun, one on the Peter. Let's take pita.
I vote for myself.
Peter, vote for the entree. It was on a bun. Vote for that, please.
Jimmy, kicking my ass.
Jack, I told you I was out for vengeance, brother.
Seven.
There may
Seven
be a
this
bunch
evening.
of them abstaining.
Vote on the pita, please.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You saw Jim cry last month.
We
I
just
told
want
you
to
they
see
were rooting
blood
for the
next
underdog.
month.
Ah, it's all right.
16. Again, thank you, Chef Jim.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
This is
And
fun.
we get the cotton candy and the ice.
Free shaved ice for everybody in the store tomorrow. Come on down.
Let me ask you again. I'm going to put another throwdown together now. Chef
Hold on a
Jack.
second, you didn't do.
The trophy is up
No,
there.
no.
Yeah, Chip gets it.
Yeah, I get the trophy now.
So you
Right.
went hands down.
Right.
So, okay.
Let me ask you
No,
guys.
there's no talking your way out of this one, Jack.
Well, it wasn't like I won one and you won the other.
Right.
You won both, so
So
you won it all.
now we got to go for the rubber match because you won last time.
Chef Jack has a restaurant open. Chef Jack, do you accept this challenge
I
for next
always
month?
accept the challenge. What's the date?
Last
Monday is
As Tuesday.
Unknowing.
last Tuesday next month. What is
No,
it, Joyce?
I can do
Calendar
it.
right behind you.
May 31st.
May 31st.
Memorial
Day
Day.
after Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Kick your ass!
Yes, sir. You're on.
Yeah!
Yeah.
All right,
Hell,
guys.
we cooked.
I will drink
Right.
all weekend. All right, can I ask one question? Did you like Khaled's 2 items? Or challenge? First off, it works better for us because we cook something quick or something and then cook a second thing. That's why we went to that. But go
3 items.
$5. Five wines. Yeah.
Just for
Five for Dan.
just for a minute, act like I own the store and have some sort of